Welcome back, team. Well, it's Christmas Eve and we're going away in 4 days. So this video will be of the big push to get the van all ready to roll. It's a long way to go from here, but let's recap on what I've done over the last couple of days, and then we can get into what we need to do to finish. All right, so we have the plumbing all leak tested, albeit a small leak, which has been very annoying to fix, but we might just end up having a towel under there because it's only a tiny leak. We've got the mattresses in for the bunks, so they're all good. We've got blackout blinds for the back bunk beds. We have the bed in with its mattress and the bed head's all done. I've got the driving locks in, which are actually quite difficult to pull out. There we go, we'll take that out. And then I've got the other one out here, right here. So that one's a little bit easier because we can just push that out, put that there. And beautifully, the bed is all good to go. As you can see, if we go down, move the broom. I did have to give it a bit of a clean up yesterday to get it habitable again. Chuck the broom out there. Let's get this bed down. As you can see, the bed's a bit wobbly, but when it stops wobbling, I've made some stabilizers for it to fit on both, and they just fit into the headrest holes. So if we come down, we just might need to give them a bit of a push to get in. And then we're in. And believe it or not, we have tested it. And sorry about this shaky camera work under here. It's super solid. And it makes it's not too bad for both Amanda and I. Well, actually it's really good for us to lie on. So we're good to go on that aspect. Now, what is there that we need to do to get this finished for in 4 days' time? I need to put the kitchen unit in, and we need to make the drawers, which we're going to do this afternoon, hopefully. This is Christmas Eve and we've got a Christmas party to go to at 3 o'clock. So I've got to get that done. But first things first, the task for today is to finish fitting the tanks. I had a bit of a disaster starting to fit the tanks. The mounting system that I put together wasn't quite strong enough. So luckily one of my good friends has a steel business, and I got him to make me a steel plate to hang the tanks from. And we'll get underneath and I'll show you exactly how we've done it. And then we'll start fitting the tanks. Let's go and have a look. If you look over here, you can see the uni strip. This bit here. And where I originally mounted it was in these 2 points using some heavy duty riv nuts, and that worked all right. I just wasn't super happy with only having 2 mounting points on each side for each piece of uni strut. What I really wanted to do was utilize the mounting points for the spare wheel, and so that's what we've done here. So I'll try and make it fit. It's a bit hard with the angle, but there we go. So there's 6 nuts that are inserted into the body, which I've just utilised the same bolts and attached this steel plate to. As you can see, it's also hanging the uni strut in 3 spots. So we've got 5 mounting points taking weight on each side for each piece of uni strut, which I feel a little bit more confident about at holding up the tanks, because the tanks are, it's 100 litre fresh water and 60 litre grey water, and I guess at any one time there'll be just that 100 litres in there, because I don't think we'll be full fresh and full grey at the same time, because generally when you're filling up fresh you'll be dumping grey. So we should be about 100 kgs max plus the weight of the tank, so maybe 110 say. Now the tanks are mounted, which we'll see shortly, on a bit of 10mm ply, just to provide a little bit of extra protection, and we've got 3 brackets that run laterally across the tank to hold it up. So there's 2 bits of uni strut and then a 100mm wide piece of aluminium that I actually just had lying around, which was a perfect foil for the uni strut. Next on the agenda is fitting the hangers that'll hold the uni strut laterally across the tanks, and we've got some that have made up already, and they basically look like this. They're a bit of threaded rod with the uni strut hanger, a stainless bracket with a nut to tighten it up, to hold it up in the hanger, and then at the other end there is another nut, which the piece of uni strut, which luckily I have a off-cut piece here that I prepared earlier, will sit like this. It'll basically sit like this with another stainless bracket. So it'll sit like that with that stainless bracket, that nut done up, and the top, and then the tank will sit on there. Here we are underneath again. I'm going to start hanging these hangers. And so there's 6 of them to hang. Then we're going to put 1 lateral bar across, which helps when I lift the tank into place, can slide it in. And then I use a car jack to jack it up, and then we put the rest on. I seem to have acquired a little helper, or a big helper. Is that right, puppy dog? What's going on? Huh? Right, so that's the first piece of uni strut in. I'm going to slide the tank in and then do the nuts up from the bottom. Okay, so here are the tanks. We have 2 tanks that are going underneath. We have 100 litres of fresh air and 60 odd litres of grey. Now grey has to be vented, and it's a bit of a complicated venting system. It goes along the chassis, up through the floor behind the fridge over there, and up to the height of the sink, which will be over here, and then loops back down through the floor and out, just in case we need any air or that to escape. Got the freshwater inlet here. This just sits up behind the bumper, and we'll be able to just click a hose in to fill up. Got the outlet for freshwater down here, and this goes along the chassis rail up the floor in here, as you can see, and then feeds the pump for the water system. Next we have the vent for the fresh, for when we're filling up, so that the air can escape. And then for both for the grey, we need an inlet to come from the sink, and it's really just the sink actually, and then the outlet for emptying it, and then we've got the sensor for the gauge just here. That's what the tanks look like. Now let's get them in underneath. With a fair amount of grunting and swearing, the tanks are in now, so let's have a look. This is what, whoa, can we see? I'll come back a bit. That's what it looks like. I've got the hangers hanging the uni strut, my big bit of aluminium, which is quite nice, and then the end one there. That's the vent coming out, but that'll be shortened and run more nicely, but that's just so I can get to it. And the next thing is I'm just going to hook up the pump and the inlet so that we can fill it up and see what it's like with all that weight in it. I'm glad that's done. So we're all full, 100 litres. Not much has changed under there, which is great. You can see the little tap that I've got to fill it up with. We had a bit of an overflow, but that was just alright. And we're all tested up now. Finally testing the hot water cylinder at the moment. So you can hear the inverter going because we're only running on electric, so off the battery. And I've got a 2000 watt inverter and 300 amp hours of battery, so should handle it fine. The hot water cylinder is drawing 1300 watts at the moment, so yeah, it seems to be going okay. Nothing's tripped. It's been going for about 10 minutes, so yeah, that's all looking quite positive. We'll just wait and see how it pressurizes, and then that should be the video for the day. So when editing that outro, I realized how short and sweet it was. The tanks are in, as you can see there. They work really well. We have a slight problem with the taste of the water. It's quite plasticky, so we're just going through and flushing it out with vinegar and baking soda and all that sort of stuff to try and improve the taste. But overall, everything works. The shower works really well. So really happy with the way that the water system has turned out. The final step is just getting our self-containment, but I'm just fixing up a couple of things, and then we can go and get that, which should be reasonably straightforward. So if you enjoyed this video, remember to subscribe to the channel for many more videos to come, and we might even get one where this is finished. We'll see you next time.